iPad's doing all right. iPad market share grows by 4% in the third quarter. Stronger mix of iPad Pro sales. So people like the iPad Pro, Will. Well, some people do. And 4% is not massive for a company like Apple, but, you know, it's hard in the tablet game. And this market share improvement is indicative of how hard it is in the tablet game for the other players. You don't see other tablets out in the world. You don't see that. I mean, if you exclude the Surface products, as you would, because they're running essentially a laptop or desktop OS. So now we're talking about Galaxy tablets, and we're talking about what else are we talking? What else are you going to see in public? I mean, Huawei just put out one that looked like an iPad, sort of. What else are you going to see out in public? From who? Someone's screaming right now in the comments. Like, I love my Media Pad 3000. From Hitachi. You don't remember Hitachi. I got a Hitachi TV when I was a kid. And then later I got a Toshiba. But the Hitachi was interesting because my family and I, we were in the States. This used to be a thing that people would do. They would drive down to Buffalo to catch a deal.
The malls.
People from Toronto would do this. Drive down to Buffalo, catch a deal. It's the first time actually I went to a Best Buy store before it came to Canada. And so we're in this store. I'm with my dad. He was kind of into gadgets as well. And we're looking at these big tube TVs at the time. And they're talking about, they're saying, this Hitachi, is that a good brand name? Am I going to drive this thing over the border? I got no recourse. It's got to be a good brand name. That's what people used to say. Well,
really?
Yeah, people used to talk like that because Sony owned it. It was, you bought a Sony Trinitron, you knew you were golden. So everything else below there, you were kind of a little skeptical if you're getting swindled. But that TV we came back with, I mean, these CRT TVs.
How many inches do you remember? Was it like your main TV?
You know, it was a weird measurement. It was like a 31 or something.
31. It
was like a 31. And that was the tank. That thing was 800 pounds.
Yeah.
All the glass in there. But I threw up the Dreamcast, like from the last episode. I put that on there. I put maybe some PlayStation on there. I don't know what it was. You had the curvature to the glass. No input lag.
Yes.
They say for Street Fighter and stuff, you still want to play it on there, apparently.
These tube-style TVs resemble a very certain point in time.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Yes. You had one of these. Do you remember what the brand of yours was?
Man, it's been so long.
That's rough.
Yeah, I don't remember. It has to be Japanese. Probably Sony.
You probably had the Sanyo. you remember Sanyo? Yeah. So that was one as well.
They developed a lot of.
Do you know something? The family TV was the 32-inch. The one that we had access to for a while was a 13-inch TV. You know, the little box. You had to sit a few inches from it. Play that Ninja Turtles in Time. Is that what it was?
Oh, yeah.
Turtles in Time.
Yeah, we had a Panasonic. Yeah.
Panasonic, not bad. That's
not
pretty
bad.
good. Yeah. This week, Strategy Analytics released its latest tablet industry report detailing market share across global manufacturers. Market share grew by 4% in Q3 2019 compared to the same period last year. That is 10.1 million shipments. Overall tablet sales fell by 4%, with only Apple, Amazon, and Lenovo showing increased sales. This is all coming via 9 to 5 Mac. Of course, Apple increased its iPad offering by putting out the 10.2-inch screen iPad Pro, kind of old, new budget model, which a lot of people said that's a go-to one, right? The 10.2, is that what people were saying? I don't recall. I have, of course, used the Pro versions, both 11 and the 12.9. Those are the expensive models. To me, those are still the ones to go for. They're just futuristic. It's They're really light and impossibly thin, and it's just the whole package together is really nice. I don't get a ton of use out of them. I think for most people spending that kind of dough, you're going to have to get more use out of it than I do. I do not use it as a laptop replacement. That said, as mentioned in a previous article, that ProMotion display in a big format is kind of nice to interact with. It's super snappy, just like the higher hertz displays on smartphones are. It just makes it feel faster. So Apple's units rose about 4%. Total revenue in the segment grew 8%, which means that Apple's seeing a higher mix of the more expensive iPad Pros in those figures compared to the cheaper iPad models, which presumably hasn't always been the case. I remember a point in time where iPad minis were just flying out the door. Remember minis, iPad minis? Everybody had one.
Yeah.
Every kid in the world had iPad mini, just drilling their brains full of stuff.
Pure media consumption.
Just, just glued to it. But I have a story about that. I have a really interesting finding about that coming up.
A personal
later on.
Story.
It's not personal. I mean,
okay.
Well, I mean, it could be.
Okay.
There's a personal element to it, but it's actually a new study. It's coming up soon on the show because we're on a show now. I don't know if people notice we're on a show.
I didn't know.
When Kurt cuts to that angle, then it's a show. You understand? That angle right there, Will, that's a show.
Hello.
That's right. You see?
That's a thing.
It's a professional show. You know who you have to thank for that, Will?
Kirk.
Oh. All right. That's nice.
You got all the setup going. So
The iPad continues to dominate the tablet market with that 10.1 million number. The next biggest manufacturer of tablets, believe it or not, Amazon, with half that at 5.3 million. Now, apparently that was fueled by their heavy Prime Day discounts. We'll see. Maybe they can improve that Black Friday sales and so forth. But it's a tough comparison because, you know, Amazon, you go to the website and they're throwing those tablets at you. Even though you're on a website, they're physically throwing tablets at you. And then it's got the ads on it.
yeah.
It's $8. Fire.
Kindle HD.
No, Kindle doesn't count.
Fire
Or
tablet.
do they put Kindle in there? No, Fire tablet. Kindle Fire.
Yeah, something to do with fire.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if those Amazon tablets have gotten any better. Maybe I should ask the audience, somebody who's picked one up recently. Back when I first got my hands on them, it kind of put me off of the Amazon tablets. Not talking about the e-readers, not talking about the Kindle.
No. Yeah, I was just joking.
The Fire HD specifically. What is it now? Fire HD 10. Maybe the time is now. And look, if you're on a budget or you buy it for a kid or something, I can see it. So anyhow, it makes up 5 million shipments next to Apple's 10. The entire tablet market, which is declining, as I mentioned earlier, around 38 million units. People just not using the tablets like they were. Remember that first iPad, man? It was hot for a minute.